Hey, what's up? Hello. Welcome to Sammy Ingram 2. I am really enjoying this channel, guys. I'm really enjoying doing videos on this channel of things that I really like talking about, which is ghost stuff, hair stuff, makeup stuff, life stuff. It's just fun. I can just do whatever I want over here. I really like it, and I really thank you guys for supporting this channel. So I was like, let me check my freaking inbox, because I bet that my people have sent me some scary stories. And you know what? You have. And there's one really good one. And I think I'm going to end this video with the very best one, because it includes a picture. And when you guys include a picture, man. Okay, so let's read your guys' paranormal stories. Hi Sammy, I found you through your manifestation videos and saw that you read people's paranormal stories. I've had a lot of weird stuff happen to me throughout my life, but nothing ever dangerous. This type of stuff is just family lineage. My great-grandmother experiences it, my grandmother, my mother, and also me. My mother gets visited by people after they've passed, and my grandmother has problems with seeing and hearing people, but my great-grandmother tends to bring things with her. My great-grandmother lives on a secluded farm I've always found creepy. It's on top of a hill in the woods, and down the hill is a grave for her second husband, in the middle of a perfect circle of pine trees. She speaks in tongues when she prays, and to my knowledge is a former witch. When I was 6 or 7, my great-grandmother and my grandmother came to visit me in my already haunted house, haunted Victorian house. I need some stories from that haunted house. This was extremely old, and the lock on my door could only be unlocked from the outside, so I had to leave my door at least cracked at all times or I would be locked in. The view from my bed gave me a clear view of the top of the staircase through the cracked door, which I already did not enjoy. That night, I could not fall asleep. A few hours went by and I heard this very deep, rhythmic laughter coming from downstairs where my great-grandmother was sleeping. It was very slow-paced. A good 2 seconds would pass after each ha. It sounded like a grown man. I immediately felt afraid and would put a blanket over my head, and I immediately felt afraid and put a blanket over my head and peeked out the staircase. There was this green light emitting from the staircase. It was so vibrant, and it would light up the upstairs hallway when it reached the top of the stairs. The light would get dimmer when the laughing got more distant, and brighter when the laughing got closer, but it always stayed on the staircase. It went up and down it all night. The staircase was definitely the creepiest part of the house, as many people have fallen down it. Oh my god. Ew. That's creepy. I'd love to hear more stories if you have some. Hi Sammy, I hope all is well for you and your family. I love both of your channels. It seems like weird shit happens to me, but I wanted to write you about a particular freaky Ouija board experience my sister and I had. This had been several years ago when we were teenagers. We played with the board and contacted a spirit named Alan. We went through the usual thing where we both thought the other was pushing the planchette. Then he started to tell us stuff that maybe the other didn't know about. We got hooked and started using the board every evening for about a week. Asked about boys, asking about where Alan came from, everything. My sister had a porcelain harlequin doll on her dresser, and during the conversation with him, Alan told us he liked it. A few nights later, we touched the planchette and asked, "Alan, are you here?" And the response was something like, "Not with us now." And then we could hear whispering. Sounded like 6 or 7 people talking all at once in really hushed voices. I could not make out anything they were saying. We both got so quiet, straining, trying to listen. I could hear my heart beating in my ears. Then we heard a sound inside the bedroom, like 2 coffee mugs clinking together. We jumped and turned toward the sound and saw the porcelain doll's feet spreading back apart. The coffee mug sound we heard were her porcelain feet as her heels clicked together, and we were witnessing her legs spreading back apart into her normal seated position. We both yelled, threw the board, and ran out of her bedroom. The next day, after I got out of school, we drove to the back of the mall and threw the board and planchette into the dumpster. Scariest shit ever. I don't think I slept for a month. Ouija boards are no joke. Thanks for listening and for all that you do. Oh my god. Did anything else happen? If anything else happened after that, feel free to email me again, but that story alone, wow. When you put a Ouija board and a doll in the same freaking video, that's some spooky shit. Hi Sammy, I have a couple of stories. Feel free to read them on your channel. Thank you, I will. A few years ago, I lived in a 4-person shared house, which felt like there was a ghost type of energy. We were curious, so we ended up calling paranormal investigators, a legit group in my city where I live, who come out for free to check out these types of situations. They picked up on an energy of a young teenage girl stuck in a loop in the hallway. She would walk from the hallway and then out the back door and then back again and do it all over again. We initially called them out because we could all sense that we weren't alone each time we were by ourselves in the house. There was definitely something else there, but it never felt like dark energy. Nothing was done about it, and she's probably still stuck in that same loop. Number 2. Just over a year ago, in the current 2-person household which I live, I had a housemate who the night they moved out forgot to take their dark attachments with them. On the day they moved out, on that exact night, what I can best describe as dark entities visited me after I went to bed. After falling asleep, I had a dream where a white large male was pinning me down on my bed and threatening to, R-word, and kill me. It was like it transformed from an entity into a human form. I could feel an energy all over me and it had me in paralysis. I couldn't move and wanted to scream. I was asleep but also conscious of what was happening. The next day I smudged the whole house and did sigil magic. On a piece of paper I drew a sigil symbol and wrote a spell out of safety and protection, which I placed on the wall facing my bed. I also did one for the front door. That night they came back again. After falling asleep, I felt and sensed something around my bed, but they were not able to get on top of it. They couldn't come closer and hovered around my bed for a while. I could feel flapping of my bed sheets as it, or they, were moving around the bed. It moved very swiftly around it. That was the last time it happened, as it didn't come back the following night. I still have the sigil on my wall in my bedroom. I did have trouble with going to sleep for a while after that incident, but I'm fine now. Sigil magic is very powerful. Thank you for letting me share. That is so terrifying. I'm so sorry that happened to you. That is so terrifying, but I'm glad that you were able to take care of it. Oh, and she has one more. I suspected that my housemate was into heavy drug use, as a couple of times I would come home and find them zoned out on the couch and unresponsive to when I said hi. Also, a friend of mine who picks up on stuff had mentioned to me that she could see a couple of shadows in the house, which I knew were not mine. I have heard that heavy drug use can attract lower entities, and I suspect that this is where they had come from. Yes, I've also heard that. Oftentimes, if you know people or go in a home of someone who does things like that, yeah, most of the time there's demons in the home. Now we're going to get to the longer one with the picture. Well, it's not super long, but it has the picture and I think it's really cool. And she's also asking if you guys could tell her or us what you think in the comments about what she photographed. Okay. Hi Sammy. Okay, so first I want to explain the picture. I know it seems weird because it's just a taken picture from another phone. This picture was taken about 10 years ago. That's when I started trying out spooky shit. Bloody Mary, Ouija boards, etc. I went to this fireplace with a friend and it's basically just a field with some trees, nothing more. My friend took a random picture. We looked at them the next day and were fucking shook when we saw what was behind me. I asked so many people what it could be and they either said it's fake or didn't have an explanation. I swear it's not fake, but maybe you have an explanation for me. It looks like a fucking demon. To be honest, I have a million paranormal stories, but a few experiences were proving it to me that this shit is real. So I did a lot of Ouija and some friends wanted to try it too, but they didn't believe in it. So I said, okay, one of you don't play with us, just sit next to us, but don't put your fingers on the board. Take a piece of paper and write a number on there, but we can't see it. They looked so confused at me, and I was like, let me prove this to you. I asked the Ouija board what number was on the paper, and it was correct. They were freaked out, but still didn't really believe me. So we're trying it over and over, and it always said the right number. So the Ouija board kind of became our hobby. We went to this place for the story about a white woman crying at night. We set everything up and started. The place was filled with fog, and the Ouija board didn't really work. So we took a break, calmed down, and started again, and the craziest shit ever happened. To be honest, I wouldn't believe it either if someone would tell me this. Okay, so we had a glass, not the usual planchette. The glass started falling over, but not how things would fall over. It was freaking slow motion. There's no fucking way this is possible because obviously there's gravity, and we just touched the glass with one finger. So no way we could do that. We still talk about it to this day and say nobody would ever believe this, but I feel like you would, so I wanted to tell you. Oh, I believe you. Whatever, the main reason of this email was the picture, so maybe you know what could have been wrong with the camera, but for me it's still a manifestation of a ghost. And I will insert the picture right here. I see a demon. I'm gonna be very honest, I'm not saying that because, or you know, I see something evil in this picture. I'm not saying this because I'm like, oh, paranormal, I love the paranormal. Of course, if I genuinely thought it was something stupid, this picture's from 10 years ago, okay? I see something. I see something. You tell me in the comments, what do you see? What do you think this is? You might even know more than me about what specifically it is by the way it looks, but it is something. There is an entity behind her in this picture. I truly believe this. Again, I'm not saying this because I'm into the paranormal. If it was just bullshit or a glare or something like that, or just a blurry picture, it doesn't look like that. There is something there. You can see a face, you can see the body, you can see everything. So you tell me what you think. What do you think it is? Oh, and she added, I'm so sorry, something I wanted to add. I did so much shit that ghosts are kind of following me no matter where I move to. There's always spooky stuff happening. One day I recorded myself at night and it sounded like someone is smashing furniture all over the room. Sometimes I even see them, but more as a shadow figure, not like a human ghost. My cat sometimes likes to play with our house ghosts too. Oh my god. Okay, see, that story even gave me chills. That one was freaking creepy. Send me more stories, guys. I love reading your creepy stories. I like the really scary ones. And if you have pictures, oh man, I would love to see your pictures. Anyway, let me know what you see in that picture. Like I said, I see an entity. There's something in that picture. Leave it in the comments below what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.